Hey guys, what is up? It is your girl Milz. Welcome back to Keeping It Real with Milz. This is the blueprint to life after a spinal cord injury. This is everything you won't find in the textbook.com. So welcome back to episode 6. And today we will be talking about physical therapy and occupational therapy. So is one better than the other? There's so many misconceptions about both of these therapies. They are both good. So let's begin. Let's roll. Okay, so physical therapy, aka PT, is a therapy for the preservation. I'm reading this off of Merriam-Webster's. Okay, so I'm gonna read you here out of this credible source. Okay, and then I'm gonna explain you the differences and what it looks like. Looks like. I be tripping with my lingo, huh? My sister always be correcting me like, "Hey, I heard your podcast and you don't say it like this. You say it like that." And I was like, "Thank you, bro. I appreciate that." But shit, I'm 27. I don't know if that's gonna stay in my head. I've been saying it wrong this whole time. All right, but anyways, therapy for the preservation, enhancement, or restoration of movement and physical function that's impaired or threatened by disease, injury, or disability that utilizes therapeutic exercise physical modalities such as massage, because they do massage you, and they do electrotherapy, which is also acompañado with assistive devices and patient education and training. Okay, so let's go on to occupational therapy. Occupational therapy, aka OT, is a therapy based on engagement in meaningful activities of daily life, such as self-care skills, education, work, or social interaction, especially to enable or encourage participation in such activities despite impairments or limitations in physical or mental functions. And these are really, really good definitions, because as I was reading them, I was kind of like having, having flashbacks to when I was in therapy. So now that you know the definitions, let me explain to you how you get into physical or occupational therapy. So usually you have to get a script, you get a referral, and then you go into the rehabilitation that you choose, whichever one your insurance approves or whichever one you choose to go to. So once you're there, they do assess you, and they measure you. They ask you if you have any pain, and usually at the end of each session, they ask you, what are your goals? The goals obviously are very different, because like I mentioned, with occupational therapy, they kind of focus on, occupational therapy is just, it's awesome. I feel like it's awesome, and it's so underrated, and I feel like people don't appreciate it as they do with PT. And I only say this because that's how I was in the beginning of my recovery. I was kind of like, no, I don't want to do occupational therapy. Like, I don't care. Like, I'll be fine if I'm not able to I would always be like, I'll be fine if I'm not able to open a bottle of water. Like, who even cares? Like, all I really want to do is walk. Like, who cares? And I would always like kind of like just demeanor my OT sessions, and I'll be like, okay, get this over with. Like, I want to do PT. But little did I know, I really needed OT. I still do. I actually still to this day, I need physical and occupational therapy. No, I do not go anymore. Yes, I should. I'm actually looking to start going to therapy again. I only stopped because I was going to school and I feel like it was too much. So I stopped for like, I want to say like 2 years. I didn't stop working out, but I did stop going. So you guys will see me back in, you'll see me back at TIER. So hey, holla. TIER is a rehabilitation center here in Houston. It's awesome. It's great. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. And let me go on with occupational therapy. Occupational therapists, they help you to do daily activities. I feel like it's the only profession that they get paid to help somebody do something they enjoy, which is like mind blown, which is awesome, because this is the satisfaction that you see somebody like, okay, so for example, one time I was shadowing somebody there, and the guy and the guy wasn't able to pick up his phone. So then I remember that, my occupational therapist, like, he built me like a little like handle thing in a way that I was able to, kind of like a handle cuff, in a way that I'll be able to hold my phone. So I was like, hey, my therapist did this for me. I think we should mimic it and do the same thing for you. And he was like, oh my God, like I can take a selfie now, because and he was just so happy because he was able to hold his phone and he can take selfies now. It was awesome. It was great. And it's like back to the assessment, like they ask you like, hey, what do you want to do? You like, what did you used to do before your injury, and how can I help you do that now with your abilities that you have now? A lot of people, they used to go fishing, so now that we have to, well, not we, I'm not not an OT therapist, but like occupational therapists usually be like, hey, well, okay, we can do it this way, and they just modify the activity to the patient, which is so creative. And physical therapists and occupational therapists are so underrated, because they're so creative, and they just come up with so many things with each patient, because each patient is so different. Anyways, so that's kind of like what an OT is. They figure out how to help that person be independent, and so they can do their daily activities. Compared to a physical therapist, I feel like their focus is more like okay, so you're trying to transfer, and in order for you to transfer, you do have to push up. So we need to work on your triceps, on your shoulders, on your balance. So it's just, both of them are great, and they work together, because if my goal is to transfer, then obviously I'm gonna need to know how to put my chair together. So they work together, like I said. And then you usually have like the occupational therapist be like, okay, well, if your goal is to transfer, let me help you find ways to take your chair apart easier. Guys, when I would go to my OT sessions, like I would not waste, okay, I would waste I would take a whole hour trying to take my chair apart. It used to take, and you know what, I didn't even get to out in most of the cases. And most of the time, guys, I never even finish, because that's how long it took me. It used to take me 2 hours to even try, not even like complete it, okay? Not even complete the task. And now it takes me like 3 to 5 minutes. So yeah, that's improvement. So, and that's improvement. And studies have shown, and I actually tried looking this up. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to post my credible source here in Google. And what is it? In Google Scholar. But guys, I forgot, because I'm not in school anymore. And I forgot that you had to pay for these motherfuckers. And when you're in school, they provide you the library. So all of these articles are accessible to you. And just know, okay, that I tried, but whatever you don't pay for, like, these programs, then you could only see like the intro, and then like part of the research, and then the conclusion. But on all of those, it said that therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy. And I honestly, guys, in conclusion, guys, honestly, I didn't even have to go in their Google Scholar, but I felt like, okay, well, let me look a little credible. But guys, it's fucking common sense. I'm living proof that therapy works. It makes you feel beautiful. It makes you feel great. And besides that, all of that, like, it makes you look better, and it's good for the bones. We are sitting in this wheelchair like for 8 hours, and that's bad for your bones. Yeah, so as I age, of course, like, my bones are going to become more fragile. And now that, I'm not walking like how I was before my injury, I think it's something that does affect us. So the more physical therapy you do, the more occupational therapy you do, the more you just stay active, guys. It would just be better for you in the long run, just because of the bone density. Well, what do you mean bone density, girl? Guys, your bones become fragile, and let's say you accidentally fall out of your wheelchair, it does take longer for your body to heal now that you are paralyzed. But then so my point here, guys, is that if you're doing physical therapy, if you're doing occupational therapy, if you're like mimicking some of those things that you see online, keep doing it and don't stop. Okay, don't stop. Hey, don't stop. I don't even know how to say this shit. I don't want to go to jail, but let me hook y'all up, or not hook you up. Let me tell you a little bit of my experiences while I was at physical therapy and occupational therapy. I don't think I ever said this out loud, but I'm about to tell y'all a little secret, okay? Or a little advice or a little something, what to do when you go to your sessions. If you're going to physical therapy or occupational therapy, like take advantage of it and do take my advice in this, okay? You probably already do it and you're a little smarty pants, but if you don't, start doing it. Don't say you got it from me, bro. I'm probably gonna get banned from tier and they're not gonna let me go back when I start my sessions again. But how do I say it? Steal ideas. Obviously, when you go to your sessions, do what you gotta do, pay attention, focus, but look around. Scope out the facility and start stealing, bro. Start stealing. What you mean stealing, dude? So the thing is that so at these facilities you have people with all types of disabilities, right? And what's really awesome is that you can steal ideas. Okay, I never said this out loud, so I have never said this out loud, so I feel like I'm about to go to jail. But shit, I'm just trying to help a brother out, so I'm about to help y'all out. Like when I would go to therapy, of course, I would focus in my therapy and I'll be like, yeah, man, we're about to go ham. Like, ain't no pussy in my blood. Like, le voy a echar ganas. And if I'm here, I'm gonna like be working out the whole hour. Like, if you need I don't need no break, man. I rest at home. Like, we're about to take like the whole 45 minutes or like, man, like I'm ready to work out. What we got to do? Okay, well, how can I do better? Or yeah, so guys, and I would do all of that jazz, when I'll stay focused. But guys, I would steal while I was there. Yeah, I'm a thief. I'm a bad girl. Holla. If you like bad girls, holla. Guys, I would steal ideas. Yeah, because like I know that therapy is expensive, and I know it over time it becomes a little pricey, and I would do my sessions, obviously, pay attention, but I would look around and be like, okay, well, I would kind of just like pay attention to people that were in wheelchairs and people that were, walking with crutches or with the walker. Actually, now I'm lying. I would look at everyone and I would be like, okay, well, what are they doing? How can I do that at home? And then I would be like, okay, well, that guy has a stroke, which means his, one of his sides doesn't, one of his sides is weaker, but I can still, do that. So then I would be like, okay, well, they're practicing on transferring that way. Maybe I should do it that way at home. And the thing is, guys, is that when you go to therapy, you work with just one therapist. So that's not a bad thing, because every therapist, in a way, it could be in a bad way, but not really, because, they get to know you, so they know, your strengths and all of that stuff. But what my therapist is showing me how to do, maybe the other therapist on that corner is doing it differently, which is super cool, because then, it's like they all have their different vibes, but they'll teach it differently. And that's why I would always look at, that's why I would always look around and be like, well, how can I do that? Or can I do that? So then I would try that at home. And then I still kind of like remember some things. I kind of forgot, but that's why I'm trying to go back to therapy to kind of like steal some ideas. You didn't hear it from me, but I think you guys should do that. And I think you guys should take my advice. If you're going to therapy right now, look around, man. Look around and see like, I just honestly, like, realistically, I don't think you'll actually go to therapy for all your life, because life happens. You have kids, you go to work, or you just kind of like over it because you don't want to drive that far, or you're trying to take a little break. Like when you go, write down the things that you saw and be like, okay, I can do it this way, or maybe tomorrow I can do what they were doing over here. So yeah, man, take my advice and steal ideas. But don't say you heard it from me, okay? I wish somebody would have told me this sooner. I would have had like more ideas. But one day I was just kind of like, well, shit. They don't know I'm stealing if I'm just looking, That's bad. That's bad, right? Yeah, that's bad. But I mean, yeah, I got nothing, honestly. If you're going to therapy, write them down, and then write them down as like stolen workouts, and just do them at home whenever you don't go to therapy. Or if you know of a friend that doesn't have enough money to go to therapy, shit, give them to them. Help out another brother out. The fuck. So the other thing with occupational and physical therapy is that you have to improvise, right? Because like I mentioned, therapy does get expensive and you have to like know how to work out at home. It has to become in a way that physical therapy and occupational therapy is a lifestyle, okay? I feel like after having a spinal cord injury, it literally becomes a lifestyle. It's just like, well, at least for me, like I'm a quad and I need honestly, like living is a workout for me. I'll be like, damn, bro, I'm tired. The fuck, bro. So check this out. Okay, so when I would go to occupational therapy, we would move blocks from one side to the other and they would measure me like that, right? My hand function. So then, I stopped going to therapy and I was like, well, shit, how can I do this at home? So I improvised and I would do that with cans. I would do that with beans. I would do literally anything. Like occupational therapy is everywhere, literally everywhere. You can go to the dollar store and get like little blocks and just do things. Guys, the more physical activity that you do, the better you will get at pushing your chair, at just like maneuvering through life with the spinal cord injury. Like, I feel like the best therapy, obviously go to physical therapy, occupational therapy if you have the resources, but live life. I would say that, living your life again after a spinal cord injury is the best therapy that you could have. And one time I met this guy on the internet and he was like, yeah, I didn't start seeing improvement. I didn't start seeing improvement after I went to work. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, how did that even happen? Like, you're going to be like struggling at work. Like, okay. And it's just like, it just happens that way because it's like you're at work. So no tienes de otra. And it just happens because, like, how do I say it? Like, la necesidad hace que sobrevivas. Like, bro, well, I have no other option. So shit, I gotta get it somehow. So then you just end up figuring it out. Or it's like if you're trying to go to the restroom and you're like, shit, I'm about to pee myself. How do I open it? And then you become your own occupational therapy. You're like, okay, well, maybe I should, honestly, if you live your life, is the best. Like, just living your life, man, and just trying to be independent is the best therapy that you can do to yourself. It's actually free. Okay. And shit, I'm all about saving money, getting a good deal. So if you can't go to occupational or physical therapy, so I don't know where you guys lost me, but I'm sorry. I'm just gonna continue with the audio, okay? For right now, because of corona and all that shit, if you clean up, if you like do your bed, if you fold your clothes, if you organize stuff, man, that's OT. That's physical therapy right there. In conclusion, guys, stay active. Even if you're not going to occupational therapy, even if you're not going to physical therapy, just do it. But I will say that my favorite one was aquatic therapy. Man, I will get so tired and it just felt like I could walk. It was awesome. It was awesome. And if you can't go and if you can't go to aquatic therapy, shit, rent out a room and go to a hotel. And how much is a hotel? Like $200. That's how much therapy is. And you get yourself a little boo. Be like, yeah, let's go to the water. And then, do a little therapy there and shit. They could touch like your leg and little butt or whatever. But yeah, man, you have to improvise, man. Man, have fun. Like, remember to have fun. I know like this is like a weird life now, but it's your life now and you got to make the best of it because shit, you're only disabled once. We only live once, man. And it's like so like, oh, YOLO. It's so like, weird to say it, but it is. This is our only life, so we have to make the best out of it. I feel like I spent a lot of time being sad and a lot of like, oh my God, I'm so sad because this accident, it should have had happened and whatever. But it's done. A spinal cord injury is not irreversible. It's permanent for right now. So you just got to make the best out of it, man. And you'll be surprised how life would just slap you in the face with happiness and like with good people when you're good with yourself, man. Because remember, la vida te sonríe si tú le sonríes a la vida, or some shit like that. Shit, what's in my bio? Oh shit, let me check it out real quick. Is la vida te sonríe si la ves sonriendo. And it's just, honestly, it's like what it is, Okay, so I know it's been 6 years, right? And by now you're probably like, Mildred, you should know your body. And while you're probably right, I don't. And it's really important to get to know your body and know like, okay, well, how long does it take you to not feel sore and so on? Because guys, if you push yourself too much in occupational therapy or physical therapy, it can really slow you down and make your progress regress. It happened to me like 3 times, and I feel like my walking would have been way better. But I always had that mentality like that. Yeah, man, dig deeper, like push some more, and like, nah, man, ain't no pussy on your blood. And it was always kind of like that, dude. And while you have to like learn like your limits and be like, look, man, I know you're trying to put more effort, but is it really worth it? Like, if I do like 2 more sets, am I really going to be able to get in my chair out, get in and out my chair in my car? Like, am I really going to be able to take a shower by myself? Am I really going to be able to go up my stairs and without pain to my room later on? Like, you have to know how to measure that. One, because the body does take longer to recover with a spinal cord injury, because not all of your muscles are working. So you're maybe just like, maybe out of like 10 muscles, out of 10 muscles, you're probably just really using 2. And this becomes bad because then you overuse them, and then it can cause damage to your bones. So it's really important to know when to stop working out. And it's really important to speak up. So if your therapist is telling you like, nah, you can still, I know you still have it in you. It's okay to be like, hey, I know I do, but shit, my hands are my legs now. So I do have to take care of myself. Like, I still have to do this and all of this shit. I'm still trying to go grocery shopping. Like, I still need to be able to function the next day. And I think that communication is really important with your therapist, because you don't want them to think like, that you're not appreciating them, and you don't want them to think like, that their work is not working, or like for them to think that you're being lazy. Like, nah, dude, I ain't being lazy. I'm trying to function later on, because I don't want to ask for help. So I think it's really important for you to like be aware of your body and be like, okay, well, I think if I do another session, then I'll be extra sore. So I'm going to be sore for 4 days. And, my quality is not going to be the best when I do try to go out on my date on Saturday, or, so I think that is something really important. I think you shouldn't push your body as much if you have a spinal cord injury, because it can honestly like take you back. Like, one time, I'm gonna end it off with this one. One time, I tried like a little robot, I tried the little robot walking thing at my therapy session, and we were like a level 3, or I don't know what it was. And I was like, yeah, man, speed it up, put it forward. I feel good. At the moment, I feel good. But whenever I got home, shit, that's when I feel sore. Guys, I walk with like my crutches, and I was not able to walk for a whole week. After I was able to, I was able to walk, right? It took me forever to walk, right? And that took me down. That, man, I was not able to walk for like 2 to 3 months. Good. It took me like 3 months for my body to recover. Can you guys believe that? Man, that shit put me back. And then I think I had 2 other times that it did put me back. And I don't want to talk about that, bro. Should be pissing me off. But guys, take it easy, because I think it's easy for you to go back once you have a spinal cord injury, because you all of your muscles aren't activated, so you're only working with so many, and you do have to take care of those. Obviously, go hard in the gym, do what you got to do, but don't do it too much. Know your limits and speak up, and tell your therapist and be like, nah, man, I ain't lazy shit. I'm here. I woke up. I've been trying to get it, but look, there's just I'm trying to be functional. So to end it off, is physical therapy better than occupational therapy? Nah, man. I feel like they both go hand in hand, and I feel like if it wasn't for my occupational therapist, I wouldn't be able to find the tricks to, put on my shirts and my button-up shirts. And I feel like if it wasn't for my physical therapist, then I wouldn't have the strength. But if it wasn't for my physical therapist, I feel like I wouldn't have like the balance of my core, or like the strength in my triceps, to be able to do all of that, movimiento. So I feel like they go both hand in hand. And again, if you don't have the resources to go to either or, do that shit at home, bro. Do that shit at home. You can do that shit at home. improvise and make it work. Stay healthy. See, like keep the body moving. Eat healthy. I ate like shit last week. Talking over here, shit. Yeah, I ate like shit last week. Eating like shit makes me feel bad, man. I'm not doing that again. Ugh. Okay, so that concludes episode 6. Guys, please stay tuned for next episode. And next episode, episode 7, we are going to have a special guest. We are going to be hanging out with my friend. I won't say her name yet. So, it could be a little mysterious. But that episode is going to be called... Guess what it's going to be called? It's going to be called... People Will Leave. I know, right? Ooh, the shade, girl. Get you some tea, some coffee, some popcorn. Yeah, I feel like that's a really good topic to talk about because after a spinal cord injury, people do leave. It's true. Like, I'm not being shady or anything, but people do leave. So I think it's a good topic that we can talk about. So stay tuned, man. But you know how it goes. See ya, don't wanna be ya. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you for watching my video, guys. See ya. Don't wanna be ya.